We are honored to be joined by an old friend, still young, but an old friend, former State Senator Ray Lesniak, who's the author of a compelling book called Beating the Odds, the epic battle that brought legal sports betting across America, and also the founder and president of the Lesniak Institute for American Leadership. Good to see you, Ray.
Great to be here, Steve.
We have history. We've talked about a whole range of issues, but there is no debating that you were the leader of this effort to bring sports betting to this state. Court battles, political battles, public perception battles. Biggest lesson you take from that is?
Never give up. I lost 8 times in court, and never listen to anyone who says there's no way that you can win this case. So.
And they said that a lot.
Oh yeah, I had one supporter, Dennis Drazen from Monmouth Racetrack.
Who now, by the way, check our interview with Dennis. When you were doing this, why were you convinced that New Jersey had to have legalized sports betting?
Because Atlantic City was tanking and our racetracks were ready to close. So we already had lost 15,000 jobs in Atlantic City. And I saw this as a way to bring younger folks into Atlantic City and into our horse racing industry. By the way, our horse racing industry is underrated in the state. We have more acres of horse farms in New Jersey than any state in the country. So we're talking thousands of jobs.
What kind of revenue? Senator Lesniak, let me ask you, what kind of revenue are we talking about? How long have we been into this so far as we tape this program?
Well, just
going into the Thanksgiving season 2019 as we tape. How much money are we talking?
Just a little over a year. But for the state, it's not that big a money raiser, a few $100 million. Still real bucks, but over 10,000 jobs.
Wow.
And that's additional revenue. And it saved Atlantic City from another casino closing. 2 casinos have reopened. Atlantic City, Monmouth Racetrack was going to close, and ultimately the Meadowlands. So it's a significant improvement and attraction to bring those businesses back to life again.
Ray, do this. Remind folks on the college end, what is okay and what's not okay in terms of
Can't bet on college sports. Well, because I had some political
Rutgers, Seton Hall, can't. Got to lay off that.
Even Ohio State and Alabama playing at the Giant Stadium. You cannot.
Because it's in New Jersey.
Because it's in New Jersey. And I did it for political reasons. And you know about politics.
Just
sometimes
a little bit.
You have to compromise.
So you compromised on that?
I compromised, yes.
So let me ask you this. For those who argue, and by the way, I'm curious about this, because we had some folks talking about compulsive gambling issues, people with gambling addictions. Talk about it.
Well, first of all, people are gambling anyway. They're gambling offshore internet sites. The FBI
and before that, the mob was making money off it.
$300 to $500 billion a year, the FBI says. So it's going on anyway. And at least now we have money, which is dedicated to programs to identify, to help gambling addiction.
And by the way, can we put up the website for the Lesniak Institute for American Leadership? What is that, Ray, and why is it important?
Well, it's important because I needed something to do after I left the Senate. But I wanted to keep up the advocacy for the social justice and criminal justice issues that
you fought for more than a couple of years.
For 40 years.
40 years.
Yes, yes. So what we're doing is we're educating the next generation of American leadership how to advocate for things like criminal justice reform, for protecting animals, for education reforms, and it's doing a great job, and a lot of students are learning how to stand up for what they believe in.
You're listening to Senator Ray Lesniak on the audio side. You can see him right now in our studio. By the way, check out this book. It's called Beating the Odds. Ray Lesniak tells the story of legalized sports betting in New Jersey. So here I'm going to do it. I'm going to shift gears. You ready?
Sure.
As we do this program, just recently, our great colleague and friend Brenda Flanagan at NJTV News did a terrific story on the fact that you and your former colleague in the Senate, Joe Carrillo's a Republican.
Yes.
You're a Democrat. You were, by the way, did the governor ask you to do this?
Senator Sweeney asked.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sure
the future governor.
Why don't we just stay focused? No. Why don't we stay focused on policy? So you were asked by the Senate president to look at the whole question of tax incentives, that the Economic Development Authority, and by the way, check our interviews about that as well, these tax incentives, what works, what's not working, where are we going too far, who's abusing it, how do we keep it, but have it be better than what it is. Sweeney and Murphy argue about this all the time, in all seriousness. You and Carrillo's came up with what? And by the way, Brenda did a great story about this. Check it out.
Well, we've taken Governor Murphy's proposals. We've added things like affordable housing for job growth that the governor didn't have in there.
Excuse me, so that tax incentives would have to go toward these things?
Yes, exactly. And also, for instance, for food deserts. We have poor neighborhoods where folks cannot get healthy foods. They get overpriced foods, and they're not economical to locate supermarkets. So these will be tax incentives to create supermarkets in food deserts so poor folks can have access to healthy foods.
But Senator Lesniak, I want to be clear, whether the proposal, and again, check out NGTV News on this story, I think it might be called Grow 3.0. Here's the thing. How do you, in all seriousness, you and Senator Carrillos, former members of the legislature, serious legislators, got a lot done. How do you do this? How do you propose changes, improvements in these tax incentives without getting caught up in, dare I use the term, petty politics going on often in the State House that has nothing to do with policy and everything to do with personality and other stuff? Loaded question, I know. Is it doable?
Well, absolutely. If there's anybody who can do it, I can. But somebody just told me the other day, so you're the only person who can speak to Senator Sweeney and Governor Murphy. I said, yeah, apparently Joe Carrillos and I are. It is doable, and it will get done.
But why can't they talk to each other more?
That's above my pay grade. I wish I knew.
I've known you over 30 years. First time I ever saw you duck something. By the way, make sure you check out that story on NJTV News with our great colleague Brenda Flanagan. And also make sure we can plug. This is good. No one's making money on this.
Absolutely. The Institute is.
That's right, Institute on Leadership, beating the odds. Ray, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
All
thank
the best.
You, Steve.
Stay right there. That's it for this edition of Think Tank. I want to make sure that you catch something else. It's called Think Tank. That's right, the podcast, Think Tank podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts and Google Play, where you can hear conversations just like this, but also with exclusive commentary available only on Think Tank, the podcast. Watch us here, listen to us online, but most importantly, remember, make sure you think for yourself. I'm Steve Adubato. See you next time.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C., Hackensack Meridian Health, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, PSE&G, International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 825, NJM Insurance Group, Keystone Mountain Lakes Regional Council of Carpenters, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State, and by Employers Association of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by Insider NJ.